Yo, I feel like culture is supposed to be shared, innit? I feel like as a human being on this earth, it's your God-given right to know a little bit about everyone's culture, just for ignorance purposes. Man, you can't be ignorant out here, cuz everybody plays the fool when they don't know. So it's just better that you know what I mean? But sometimes, let's be honest, man, some people beg it, bruv. You will share a culture that's so wavy, everybody wants to join in. And when they join in, they'll be acting like they're part of you from day one. No, 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 no. If I'm not gonna lie, no one's been robbed more of their culture more than Jamaicans. And I'm so sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. No, today, I'm gonna stand up for you. As a Nigerian man, I'm gonna stand up for you. I can't take it again. I can't take it anymore. Granted, Jamaicans have got a wavy culture. But I can't lie to you, man. It's not for you to take and run off with, bruv.
Jamaican culture has inspired the world. From the way people talk, to the music they play, to the fashion they wear. But here is the problem. While everybody wants the vibes of Jamaica, very few actually want to give Jamaica the credit it deserves. From reggae and dancehall, to slang, food, style, and even spirituality, Jamaica has been copied, repackaged, and profited from for decades, often without respect and without acknowledgement. Today we are breaking down the truth about how Jamaican culture became one of the most influential yet undercredited cultures on the planet. And later in the video you will hear a powerful message from a Jamaican woman in the UK explaining why even British Jamaicans are becoming disconnected from their roots. Is Jamaican culture being erased or embraced? Let's talk about it.
It isn't just Bob Marley that is making all of this money for Jamaica through tourism. That is Rastafari's culture that has been appropriated and exploited to this day by these same political players who are taking pictures and pretending like they're the ones who are embracing. Bob Marley tell you, never let a politician grant you a favor. So, they have a whole heap of work to do when it comes down to doing the right thing for the Rastafari movement. Occupy Pinnacle was my first real insight and taste into the bitter gall the Jamaican government feels when they think about Rastafari standing up for what we deserve.
Have you noticed? Surely you've noticed. Jamaica does not have a lot of people, but it is famous. The food, the music, the way they speak, yeah man. The dance, beautiful women. What other nation is so few in number, but is so famous? I don't know. There's something about Jamaica, man.
They told us Caribbean culture was worthless, that we came from nothing, that we had to leave our islands to succeed, but they lied. Because the truth is, Caribbean culture is gold. From our food to our music, our traditions to our language, we are rich, not in money, but in rhythm, in resilience and pride. They used to mock our accents. Now they're copying our slangs. They dismissed our food. Now it's gourmet. They laughed at our dance. Now it's viral. But we were not the joke. We were always the blueprint. So if you're Caribbean and proud, type "we gold" in the comments. As remember, it's not just a destination. It's a journey.
I have no problem with white women who get with Jamaican men. I'm Jamaican. I have no problems with it. I mean, love is love and you find love wherever. But when you start getting that good Jamaican and then it's like it hits you upside your head and now you think you qualify and you are a Jamaican. You're not a Jamaican. You are a guest within our culture. Remember that. There is nothing wrong with appreciating our culture, loving our food, loving our music, and stuff like that. That's appreciation. But there's a fine line with appreciation and cultural appropriation. Be very careful, especially when you start imitating our language and speaking patois. That's borderline offensive, in my opinion. Stop it.
I might get some hate for this, but honestly, I don't care because I'm about unpopular opinions. But I personally feel a lot of British Jamaicans that live in this country do not have an understanding what it actually is to be Jamaican. No understanding whatsoever. None. They have a very stereotypical ideology of what it is to be Jamaican, but do they have a realistic, firm foundation of what it is to be Jamaican? No. It's based in a lot of stereotypical principles that are portrayed as Jamaican, but is not actually the real identity of being Jamaican. whatsoever. I've met so much Jamaicans where I actually have a conversation about our economy or politics or where we're going as a society or how Jamaica has changed in the last 10 years, the things that have developed and not developed. Do you think they can join them to have a conversation? No, because for them, they only see Jamaica from a very entertainment, a very stereotypical, a very what is pushed out on the media for tourists and people that want to glimpse into Jamaica to see. But actually the real everyday life of an actual Jamaican, the real culture that is Jamaica, do they understand that? Hell no. And a lot of you Jamaicans that are living here haven't been Jamaica in like 500 years. You have no understanding. You don't even know what Jamaica is like anymore. And honestly, I understand when a lot of people are saying like the British Jamaicans are dying out in this society. They are. And a lot of people don't go back, and a lot of people don't visit, and a lot of people don't get to know their culture and their identity. Like, have you been Jamaican in the last 5 years? Do you know what's happening? Do you follow anything that's happening? Like, there is more to Jamaica than the entertainment. There's more to Jamaica than going to the grill, going to Taboo, going to Mecca. There is more to Jamaica. Have you sat down with some local Jamaicans? Have you asked them about society? Have you asked them about life? Have you actually been to a dead yard in Jamaica? Have you actually been to a funeral in Jamaica? Have you actually been anywhere? Have you actually lived and been in rural parts? Have you actually experienced different cultures and communities in Jamaica? Like, have you actually understood what it is to be Jamaican? Not the stereotypical thing you see on TV or you see on social media that you think is an expression of being Jamaican. Do you actually know what it is to be Jamaican? And a lot of people, honestly, I don't think they do. And I don't think a lot of British Jamaicans do too. And I do think our culture is dying out. But that's also down to a lot of people not wanting to get to know it. Wanting to get to know it from a very simplistic point of view. And that's the truth about it.
Let's start with this simple fact. Jamaica is tiny, just 3 million people. Yet its cultural impact is massive, global, and matched. Everywhere you travel, you will hear reggae playing, dancehall beats in clubs, Jamaican slang in movies, TikTok and everyday speech. People everywhere copy the style, the attitude, the rhythm, and the energy. But here is the twist. Most people enjoying these things have no idea they came from Jamaica. They think it's just internet culture. They think it's just urban culture. They think it's just Caribbean vibes. But no, the root is Jamaica. The blueprint is Jamaica. The influence is Jamaica. And somehow, Jamaica keeps getting left out of the story. And let's be honest, cultural borrowing isn't always bad. Culture spreads, people share, influence travels. But what crosses the line is when people profit from Jamaican culture while pretending the origin doesn't exist. We have seen it with fashion trends that came straight from dancehall, artists using Jamaican slang but calling it new, hairstyles and style choices copied with zero credit, popular songs built on reggae, dancehall beats but labeled under different genres, influencers mimicking patois, but only when it's funny or trendy. Jamaicans create the wave, others ride it, and Jamaica gets left out of the conversation. Why is this allowed? Because people love the culture but don't want to respect the people who made it. Think about today's biggest music genres: hip hop, Afrobeats, pop, EDM, and reggaeton. Do you realize how many of them trace their roots back to Jamaica? Sound systems culture, Jamaica built it. DJing, Jamaica started it. Toasting, Jamaica invented it. Bass heavy club mixes, Jamaica again. The hype man concept, Jamaican. Reggaeton's foundation rhythm directly taken from Jamaican dancehall. But look at global charts today. Do people talk about the Jamaican pioneers who laid the foundation? Rarely, if ever. Instead, newer genres take center stage while Jamaica's influence gets pushed into the background. Now let's talk about slang. Because Jamaican patois is one of the most copied language in the world. Words like brejin, wagwan, big up, yard, midea, badman, picnic, likol, gyal. People use these words globally, sometimes without even knowing they are Jamaican. Movies uses it. Influencers use it. Music uses it. Even people who never met a Jamaican a day in their life uses it. But patois isn't a trend. It's a language, a culture, a history. And when people use it without understanding or respecting it, it becomes just another example of cultural erasure. Now here is where it gets even deeper. A Jamaican woman living in the UK recently spoke out, and what she said hit hard. She explained that many young British Jamaicans don't know the language, don't know the food, don't know the history, and don't know the real Jamaican identity anymore. Not because they don't want to, but because the systems around them never encourage them to hold on to it. Society pushes assimilation, not cultural pride. Some British Jamaicans even grow up feeling embarrassed to embrace their roots because Jamaican culture has been stereotyped, mocked, or misunderstood in the UK for decades. Meanwhile, the same culture that gets dismissed in real life is being copied online for entertainment. The woman's message was simple but powerful. Our culture is being taken from us twice, first by the world and then by our own disconnect. It raises an important question. How do we protect a culture when people who created it aren't being supported to preserve it? So, is Jamaican culture being erased or embraced? Honestly, it's both. The world loves Jamaican culture. They love the music, the vibe, the style, the creativity. But they often love it in a way that removes Jamaica from the picture. Embracing without credit is erasure. Copying without respect is erasure. Profiting without acknowledgement is also erasure. But giving credit, preserving history, supporting Jamaican creators, amplifying Jamaican voices, that's embrace. And that's what the world needs to do more of. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think Jamaican culture is being erased, embraced, or both? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you love Jamaica, support Jamaica. Credit the creators. Respect the history. Protect the culture. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real conversations about culture, identity, and truth. Respect to every Jamaican at home and across the world. Jamaica to the world, always.